What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Showtime. It is Laser King with King's Critiques, and we're back with Mangaka. In the last episode, first, Hutami forced Hazuma to take a work break because she had an eye injury, and then Sato-san forced both of them to take a work break at a fancy spa and inn, in addition to going to watch a ceremony for a Shogi World Championship thanks to Toko. And now we are here with whatever is going on with this. Oh, and, Nashida not going because she thought it was just a work retreat and was sorely mistaken. Now we see whatever's going on here. And as always, hit the like button, subscribe, let the video run through the limit of the watch time, hit the like button, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And until next, editing me, rewind that a little bit. And with that being said, let's get to it. Oh, we finally get to actually see Nekonote in person. Well, they do, but you know what I mean. By this, do you mean Nashida and her collection of beer cans? No, just Nashida in general. Is Takara gnawing on her head? That's actually kind of cute. The fact she's kind of a louse. At least she picked up her beer cans. That's positive. And now the dog has crawled partway into the blanket. Oh. And she's feeling overwhelmed about the book she's supposed to be working on. Oh no. Emotional support. Nashida can't handle it. And honestly, I feel that because I had that moment in the past. It didn't really work out for what I asked for the emotional support for, but I had that moment where I needed some. Yep, emotional support. Your fans are scary. That's what she's worried about? Not Takizawa herself being scary, because honestly, that expression, it has scarousal written all over it. I mean, scary written all over it. So, that's her problem? Because that's how people on the internet are. Ow. They find something bad about everything. Find me one thing in the past 20 years that has been given a 10 out of 10 by the public or your, popular, news outlets or whatever. I can imagine there is maybe 2 things that have anything close to 10 out of 10. If we're talking about anime, maybe something like Attack on Titan reached a 9 point whatever, because I'm pretty sure it superseded FMA for a short time. I think something overtook AOT recently. I could be wrong. Regardless, my point is, I don't think it got a 10 out of 10. Could be wrong. But also look at the movie industry. Has there been any movies recently that have gotten a 10 out of 10? K-pop Demon Hunters has been one of the most popular movies in recent history, period. I don't think that got 10 out of 10. Same with Iron Lung, one of the most popular movies in recent history. I don't think that got 10 out of 10. Pretty damn close. But fact check me, because I'm not sure. I don't pay that much attention to it. I just watch what I like. But let me know in the comment section. Because have you ever heard me talk bad about a show throughout? There has been one thing I have finished that I talked bad about. And that is just the worst anime ever, because it just, honestly, better if you had put it out as H content, like the visual novel. I'm not going to say what it is, because honestly I'd rather forget about what it is. But yeah, it being a visual novel for what the actual series was, probably has better ratings than the show that should have just been H content outright and probably done much better. Horror, mind you, but H content nonetheless. Meanwhile, Takizawa is about to say something incredibly inspiring. Or yell at her. Honestly, could be either. Yeah, okay. Inspiring. Because, well, most popular people have had shit go wrong in the past. Even people who immediately hit it off, again, probably get a bunch of bad ratings too. Because that's just how entertainment works. Unless she wrote under a pseudonym at first, and that's why. Yep, pseudonym. Rough. Unless Takizawa is her pseudonym, or she legally changed her name to save her the embarrassment. That was a shitty way to treat somebody, though. Like, damn, be more apologetic than that if something has to get cancelled. So, yeah, Takizawa is her pseudonym, but it worked. And in a way, I wish it were that easy to do things on here. You know, change your username and things just work. But unfortunately, for media related content, you know, the visual kind that continues on endlessly, video content, it unfortunately doesn't work that well. But that's also why I have multiple channels and hope for the best. Some I promote the videos, others I don't. Because honestly, I think I'm just going to let the Gotcha channel grow organically through people, you know, hitting the button in the description or finding the videos on their own. Because I promote this one and the other one decent enough. And I don't know how many people that come from social media or the Discord channels I share to are. I think I've seen a couple of people come through Discords I've shared through when I'm streaming. That's about it. But hey, if you've come from a social media or a Discord channel, let me know in the comments. Also, a promising thing to hear. Because meeting someone in person is way different than a video chat or a text chat. What I just said. Yeah. Great first impressions for Nekonote. Oh, hey, look. A fan. Oh, the meeting with Sato did not go well. So kind of like what happened with Hazama. Yeah, they'd relate. Nashida, shut up. That is actually the kind of practice I try not to do with my videos, though, honestly. It's like, I would like to make things better, but if I try to make it, you know, perfect, doing shit by myself means it's never gonna get done, so I gotta do it as best as I can. Which, to remind, that big video on the Pokemon channel is still relatively new, so it would be highly appreciated if you could go check it out. Now that's kind of what Sato is there for, honestly. I mean, Fatami calls her all the time about stuff, so she could probably just call her and have her come over right now to pick up things or have the talk with you. They're both honestly kind of that brash they might. Hell, Hazama might already be on the phone. Well, that's kind of the part about who are emotionally disastrous and anxious 90% of the time. We do not care about ourselves, but when it involves somebody that we have hopes for, or just shooting out into the open, hoping somebody that needs to hear it who can still be affected by it hears it, we do our best, regardless of the topic. You know, whether it be work ethic or something relating more to life lessons. Kind of like what I try to provide here. I give my opinions based on things that happen in here, and then I talk about them otherwise. Sometimes to points where I get totally distracted from the main point and then never finish the main point, as I've done a couple of times in the past few recordings of this, but I digress. Right, the problem with things like that is because you have too many ideas, you don't know what to do first. Meanwhile, Nashida's talking about how she came up with her series before it got canceled because of that prick Coda and the way he does things. But she's genuinely impressed with how much thought went into it from Nashida. Listen, future wife, technically, she gets to say that. Well, that's rough for a first opinion. Goes home, goes back to Futami, is like, Futami, let's go on a date. I didn't think she would ask Toko, but like I said a few episodes ago, I ship it. Get ambushed by that and just sent, and they're spying on her. Yeah, it's technically a friend date, but still adorable. Then again, a friend date would have been her asking, one of the other two. So, hey, a neat doing anything that gets them out of the house is a good thing. Futami loves how this looks, and she's into it. Yeah, that's cute. And apparently she thinks so too, because that is definitely an approval, an expression of approval. Of course, Toko's going to be the assertive one. Yeah. The reaction on all three of them from her being the assertive one, too. What do you mean, like her? Why not just her? You know that meme that's, I want a boyfriend like this? And then it's the character that's in the picture being like, hi, and not you. And it's like, but I'm literally. Yeah, that. Also, side note, I agree with Nashida on that because, listen, being how I've grown to be, I'd love to meet somebody that has that kind of extrovert energy. Damn, that's terrible to have that opinion of a movie you go to see with someone, especially because she looked like she was into it. 5 second pose. Yeah, honestly, hey, nice, sly, very good, Toko, very good. Maybe there's a reason she's a little more into this. Eh? Of course she gets destroyed. Actually, maybe they should just take a moment to do something for Nekonote's sake. Yeah, like actually, isn't it kind of like Hazama said? Not Hazama. Futabi said to Hazama just an episode or two ago. Hugs are a great way for stress relief, and Nashida being the one who was always stressed and down in the dumps about not being loved, finally feeling a bit of recognition and love. Yeah. They almost got caught because they got the thing Nekonote wanted. Wow. Now Nashida had a moment to do something smooth. Just and it was well received. Also, by the way, this is a reason why I would love to be able to express genuinely how I am instead of bullshitting it half the time to people. Because, Toko has known her for a couple weeks or a month, however long it's been since they all met. And she knows how much of an alcoholic asshole Nashida can be, but she's still into it. And I don't think she's treating it like an actual experience like this just for the sake of research, mind you. Especially because wasn't it Takizawa who said, ask someone you like out on a date? Yeah, and that's probably genuine. Eh? That's probably just, well, actually, no, I'm not even going to make an excuse for it. Nashida probably actually genuinely feels that way because, again, after getting dicked around with for so long by a lot of things in life, and then having somebody that treats a date like a date, even if the intentions are research, kind of not impossible to let feelings sway over to one side. Also, that cheesecake covered in caramel? That looks delicious. I think she just flustered Toko, actually. Her heart's so full, it's starting to spew out of her. I know that is a bad phrase to use, but it is accurate. And putting it that way, mind you. So, is this like the, first canon? She's still gonna call it shit, isn't she? Considering Nashido's kind of the more girly one in that date, you'd think she would have been able to nail that. Because, she had, one smooth maneuver the whole time, and Toko was the one doing the rest of the smooth shit. The crane game thing, and, the arm hook, at minimum. Close! You came closer to what was intended. about that. That's an awkward way to put it. So she's doing it because she wants to be in the same room with everyone working together. Honestly, relatable. The kind of thing why I would like more people to be able to talk to and hang out with while I'm doing, work for the gaming stuff, or even the more well thought out videos I do for this channel. I haven't done one in a while, but when you have just so much backed up content, that's how it goes. It's just kind of watching how they all work together so seamlessly, even, and kind of impressed. Definite girlfriend material. I'm using the other one as a thumbnail, but it is kind of funny how the first time they met, I kind of said I ship it, and they're the first one made canon, basically. Meanwhile, Nekonote has her own adorable moment, and they all appreciate her being there too. Damn, Futami got offered the spinoff too, but Takizawa turned her down. Now, is that because she wants her to focus on her own work? The deeper this goes, I think it's a whole other end of envy for me. Not just in the aspect of like relationship stuff, like Nashida and Toko apparently actually becoming a thing, but on the end of, friends, people you can work with who are also people who can become your friend. These are things I'm very envious of and wish I could, have. People I could get along with and, work with and be able to pay for things when I can, but if I'm a little short at the time, they're fine with it. People I can work professionally with but still hang out with. I am so envious of all of that kind of vibe, and but I suppose that's also part of the reason why I do this, is where I can actually like have my emotions show, and maybe one day it'll help. Maybe the right person will see the right thing and I'll be able to make a friend. Maybe not help with work, but at least make a friend. I'm not one of those people who's going to be weird with my commenters or anything, but hey, if I make a genuine connection with somebody through the comment section, it's never a bad thing. The Discord channel is always open for people if they ever want to chat with me or anyone else in there. It's not an active channel, but hey, I get more of y'all in there. And no, that's not like one of those things that turns hazardous. Not that fucked up in that. Like, I'll be open with people. I won't hide how I feel about things, but I'm also not a fucking weirdo. So you got that to look forward to. But I know that wasn't put in the best way, but I'm definitely envious of this group more than a lot of other groups I've seen in shows like this. But I still love them. And hopefully in the next episode we see Futami and Sato make their thing a little bit more unprofessional, so to say. But that said, let me know your thoughts on everything in the comment section about things I've said on your mind about the show, other shows I should watch this season, next season, or in general. Hit the like button, subscribe to the other stuff in the description, ring bells, like Facebook, follow Twitter, and Blue Sky. TikTok, Patreon, get the full unedited visual note of the stuff I upload here, including stuff that might be controversial or a bit too questionable for the red platform because of their dumbass AI. Go follow on Twitch, subscribe for benefits, can do so Twitch Prime for free, it helps out immensely for the temp, this for the long, until next time, Ben the Blaze again with King's Critiques, so ta-ta for now, peace.